The Philadelphia area hammered by some powerful storms that included microbursts on Saturday. Kiyana Lewis is here with us to explain what exactly those are and how they could potentially be connected to some of the Saharan dust down in Florida. Kiyana, they can be, truly, when you have some dry, stable air aloft.
Yeah, that could be that layer that really challenges the thunderstorm from maturing and becoming a full-on thunderstorm. It kind of stunts its growth, if you will. I want you to think of a microburst as a storm system that really just kind of bottoms out. And as it kind of lets loose, all of those stronger winds come blasting out at the bottom of the storm, and it can do some damage. We're looking at winds 60, 70 miles per hour at times, and that's exactly what played out in Philadelphia. Not one, not two, but 4 times throughout this weekend. So definitely saw a lot of that activity, these thunderstorms moving through in less than an hour and 15 minutes and causing a lot of damage on the back end. Now, of course, when it comes to those microbursts, this is a look at some of the damage that we saw throughout the city. The National Weather Service says that these microbursts, they produce straight line winds up to 60, 70 miles per hour. And as a result, we saw more than 300 trees that were knocked down, roofs were damaged, as well as even some localized flooding. So I want to take you back to the past radar over the weekend. I mentioned how it lasted no more than an hour and about 15 minutes, came in from the north across the city south and out towards New Jersey. Now, it impacted the southern half of the city and the western half of the city primarily, but you just kind of watch this storm slowly propagate over the city, and as a result, they even lost a lot of power. So to push this forward, we saw that play out in Philly, but we could also see more of that activity down in Florida. So overall, more than 17 reports. We saw a lot of the damage, even outstanding of that. Looking at Philadelphia, an international airport, we saw 56-mile-per-hour winds. Haverford, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Now in Florida, we have that dust. So that Saharan layer is definitely going to play a huge role in how these storms try to mature. And it is that dry air that as that rain falls and moves through that dry air, it evaporates quickly. And that cooling, as a result, could lead to some microbursts. We have a couple of storms expected through the course of this afternoon and again into this evening. So those trouble spots that I'm going to watch, Panama City, Orlando, Tampa, and down even towards Fort Myers and Miami. The same could be said for tomorrow. As long as this dust is around the Gulf Coast and into Florida, we have that chance of seeing those opportunities for, those stronger winds to kind of come plunging down towards the ground and becoming a big issue as we led through the latter half of the week. So, Ian, I think this is a combo story that we'll have to continue to watch, not only for today, but even to the middle of the week.